The big story today, from Trinamool MPs to top national leaders, Sudipta Sen, the arrested chief of the Chit fund that duped investors of hundreds of crores, has named many in an explosive letter to the CBI. In that letter bomb, Sudipta Sen accuses Trinamool MPs of using and blackmailing him. He also claims top politicians, lawyers and journalists benefited from him. That Chit fund went bust, leading many investors to ruin and loss of their entire savings. One of the agents of that company killed herself. Others say they've been driven to the brink.
গভর্নমেন্টের এখানে কোনো রকমই গভর্নমেন্টের কোনো ইনভলভমেন্ট নেই, টোটালটাই প্রাইভেট। গভর্নমেন্ট এতটাই মানুষের জন্য দায়বদ্ধ যে গভর্নমেন্টের নিজের টাকা থেকে আমরা 500 কোটি টাকার একটা রিলিফ ফান্ড আমরা তৈরি করছি ফর স্মল অ্যান্ড মিডিয়াম ডিপোজিটার্স, যারা সব হারিয়েছে, গরিব মানুষ, সাধারণ মানুষ, যার জীবনটা সর্বশান্ত হয়ে গেছে।
Sudipta Banerjee joining us at this point from Kolkata. Sudipta, we of course heard that rejection of all charges from the Chief Minister, but really things aren't quite as simple as all that.
Well, I can tell you that privately, ever since this letter hit the news channels, Trinamool has in a way been very happy. They were talking a few days ago also that this letter would be such a bombshell that Trinamool would become irrelevant in this whole equation, given the big names that have been named over here, really big names, many of them, or most of them, shall I say, in Delhi. So given that, Trinamool is almost, laughing its way to the bank, as it were, because they know that the attention is now going to be diverted from them to the people in Delhi. But yes, there is pressure still on Kunal Ghosh and Srinjoy Bose, the two people who have been named, by the way, in this letter as well, with exact amounts of how much money they were getting or they got from the Sharda group. Sudipta Sen has named them in this letter, so there is no escaping of that. But at the moment, what we are hearing from the Trinamool is that they, even after the letter has come out, do not feel that they should ask their MPs to quit, because simply that would be an admission of guilt. So they would rather hang on to their MPs and deny completely that they have anything to do with the Sharda group or its underhand illegal dealings. That seems to be the strategy at the moment. Right. Yesterday, Mamata Banerjee or 2 days ago, Mamata Banerjee in her press conference defended Kunal Ghosh, and today Srinjoy Bose, when I asked him if he was under any pressure, he said nobody has contacted him from the party asking him to resign as yet.
But Sudipta, now it's not just the Sharda Chit Fund alone. We have much talk of Rose Valley depositors already taking out their money from another company that the SEBI is cracking down on for defrauding investors. So tell us a little more about that. Could that be the next Sharda in a sense?
Oh, well, it could actually, because today in the afternoon I got news from our Durgapur stringer, Durgapur in Burdwan district. He reported to me that there were huge queues outside the Rose Valley office over there with people demanding their money back. And every one of them, without exception, said they wanted their money back simply because of what had happened to Sharda. But what did they get? There were people at the Rose Valley office who met them, spoke to them and said that if you withdraw your money before your policies mature, you will lose some money. The depositors said, we don't care, we want our money back. Our principal amount at least must be returned to us. But they did not get any checks in return. They did not get any cash in return. All they got were tokens and promises of payment within the next 6 months. Is that ever going to happen? The SEBI has been on the Rose Valley case for some time. The matter is in the court. Yesterday there was supposed to be a hearing. On 3rd of April, SEBI actually filed an FIR against Rose Valley for refusing to show its books to SEBI. So clearly the pressure growing on Rose Valley, and who knows what's going to happen tomorrow. Rose Valley, owned by a gentleman called Gautam Kundu, a gentleman who owns several media outlets, including a news channel, including a newspaper, several hotels as well across the state. But who knows when that is going to crumble. It could be as early as tomorrow.